Hello world, I'm Chris Pirillo, and you're watching another live edition of the LockerGnome Daily Report, or TLDR for short, your daily dose of geek news, product views, and answers like you can use. Dang it! I screwed that up. How can I screw up the thing I say every day?
Your daughter makes you nervous.
Yes, she's making me sweat. Either that or it's just kind of warm here in my workshop. Answers. Like an answer to the question, who is the galaxy's best father? I'm glad you asked. It's me! Officially. I have this Darth Vader bobblehead, and it says so right up front, Galaxy's best father. And see the head bobbles there? The best father I am in the galaxy, because I have that. Thanks to David White Jr. Thanks for passing that along. I love it, of course, because it's Darth Vader. And now I guess I've got definitive proof that I am the galaxy's best father. Moving along, let me go ahead and thank the 923 supernomies as of today, September 26th. So, I'm assuming you can read. I'm just going to keep rolling along here. We do have Jedi in the room with us right now. She's got a little surprise, another little something that someone passed along. I thought was kind of fun. And so she's changed her outfit now 14 times. And it's afternoon, so it's amazing to have a mother like Diana. So I know you're saying, Chris, why do you get all the cool stuff? Well, how about we give away this cool stuff right here? Although the tweet that I printed out is still in the basement, so I can't. I was going to show the tweet that is the recipient tweet. We've got two more. Well, this is this one, and then one more after this. I'll likely be announcing on Monday, picking out a tweet. So you guys have all freaking weekend to tweet. Hashtag Intel Android and include @Chris Pirillo in your tweet. There are a few people who are just going overboard. You can really only enter once a day, so don't flood your stream. Don't annoy your followers if you do have followers. Oh, speaking of, I'm on Ello. 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 Now, this is a new social network. Yes, another social network, YASN, that alleges to never want to serve advertising to you. We'll just see about that, shall we? My first tweet was much like Ben Kirk's, who's a good person, good father, a good role model for me, a geek in Australia, I believe, and he does vlogs as well with his family, and he tweeted the same thing I did. Well, I'm sorry, Ello'd? What's a post on Ello? We both tweeted Ello World. See, it's a programmer thing. When you're, the first program I think I ever wrote was on a Commodore VIC-20, and I typed in 10 print space, quote, hello world, end quote, and then 20 go to 10, and then I ran the program, or run, and then it printed out hello world. And so that's why I start every geekier kind of broadcast, or video really, with hello world. The vlogs are somewhat different. So Diana is currently feeding Jedi. I'm hoping she'll be able to run down to get the recipient of this particular Asus MemoPad 8, an Intel Android tablet, and I'm sure that whoever's going to be receiving it will be happy. Let me also remind everybody that it's because of Citrix that we're able to do things like this today, too. Citrix Go to Assist offers a secure, cloud-based solution for IT and customer support professionals to provide live and unattended remote support to their employees and customers working from any computer or mobile device. For a 30-day free trial, visit gotoassist.com. Easy to do, and it's easy to use. So what we've been doing with Citrix is John Prosser, and thanks in large part to the Supernomies, I'm able to basically reserve some services from him. He takes bits and pieces from TLDR, and we put them in a short video, like a TLDR live broadcast. It's a half an hour long. But he's making like clips, like 2 to 3 minute clips, and then we're posting them right now on Facebook as a kind of podcast. It's not a great podcast. I haven't done a podcast in years. I mean, I had the podcast running, but then Blip TV kind of dropped support, and it's not exactly cheap, and I don't know how many people really want it, and most people are getting to me by way of YouTube, but I'm thinking about spinning up a, whatever it's called, like a Pirillo family podcast, where for an hour a week, Diana and I could record, just an audio session together and talk about whatever the hell we want to talk about, the family issues, and then Jedi would be able to join us as well, certainly as she gets older. A weekly family podcast, which I think is sustainable, and potentially we'll go the crowdfunding route, if only to further support Jedi, and it's just kind of the path that we've decided to take, and we're happy to share our lives with you if you're happy to share your lives with us. AMA! Chris, will you ever eat a Kinder Surprise? I did when I was in the UK, and Liz, someone else who's a part of our community, she sent these. Now, I may get in trouble, because I think these are illegal to have in the US. I don't know. But I'm just saying, a Canadian sent them to me, and I've had them before. So if anyone's going to get mad, don't get mad at me. It's chocolate. The reason why I do believe these are illegal in the U.S., at least to buy, I can't imagine like owning or eating chocolate's illegal. Hello. I mean, I could be wrong, at which point I'll laugh. The reason why these are illegal in the U.S. is I don't think it's very illicit. I guess in a few years you can't eat chocolate yet. Someone got worried because they were afraid that kids would not realize that inside these chocolate shells, fully chocolate, inside the chocolate shell is a toy. And I think someone got a little overprotective. Oh, as I'm dropping chocolate all over the place here. And wanted to protect our kids from eating the toy instead of just the candy, which I guess is smart, but at the same time, really? Really? I got chocolate all over the place. We better be careful with this. Boy, this one really fell apart. So, the toy that I got, let's see here. How do I'm new to this, so I don't know how to open the pod. Oh, there we go. There we go. Oh, it's a little, it's a car. I got a car, a little like a dune buggy of sorts that I can put together. Someone was afraid that kids were going to eat those. Well, I mean the toy, not afraid the kid was going to eat the chocolate. So there we go. Thank you, Liz. Surprise! I just ate chocolate that I don't think I should have eaten. I mean, it's great chocolate. It tastes like a standard, milk chocolate and white chocolate. It's good chocolate. Better than half the chocolate they sell in America. Yep, I said it. Veronica asks, hey, Chris, do you look forward to the day when Jedi will be able to hold conversations with you? Yes and no. I don't have any kids of my own, but I've been blessed to watch my niece, 4 years old, and nephew, turning 3 in November, evolve from babbling babies to inquisitive and talkative kids. It's amazing how their personalities and thoughts are expressed. Veronica, here's the way I'm going to play it. Whether I meant to do this or not, let me go ahead and pick up Jedi. She's furry. Really furrier than I remember. Wrong kid. Wicket, I guess, he's getting a little jelly. Mm-hmm. Oh, you smell chocolate. You knew I was eating something. You definitely can't have chocolate. So, whether we, meant this to evolve or not, we've got the vlog, we've got the daily live videos. Diana's got her YouTube channel. I think Jedi's going to have her own thing. And, when she starts talking, I think it would be kind of fun to do something, with her or, have her do something herself and me being able to kind of facilitate things and, have her thoughts of the day or whatever she might want to do. And it would be fun. It would help support everything that we are able to do for her as parents. And, some people would look at that and wonder, well, how could you do that? Well, I guess to me, if I have a chance to help the child develop not just a sense of curiosity, but also help a child find his or her passions in life, the sooner you find what makes you happy, the better life you're going to have. So that's the one thing I can hope for anybody out there is that you can find your happiness. And if she's got any Pirillo in her, and let's face it, it's at least 50%, she's going to be talkative, that's for sure. Gary asks, hello, Chris. How's your family? Hope well. Indeed. My question for you is, what can Google Glass make a comeback? I think Google Glass is screwed. I mean, just saying it. I mean, I think it's great for what it is. But the problem is it's too expensive, and the privacy issues that were just abound with Google Glass, I think will keep it from any kind of mainstream adoption. If something like Google Glass were to take off, unfortunately, the best feature of Google Glass would probably have to be eliminated. That is the camera. People would just be worried that they're going to be recorded surreptitiously, even though that was rarely, if ever, the case. People just fear the unknown. And unfortunately, that's just not a boundary that I think our society wants to cross right now. Even though some of us do, I wouldn't mind wearing one. Well, I think at some point, too, Jedi would as well. Although we're thinking about possibly getting one of those baby strap things and then putting a GoPro when she starts walking. It'd be kind of fun from a child's perspective, learning how to walk. They've got the harnesses for dogs, too, now. Is she good?
Yeah.
You gonna try to settle her, or are we gonna
Yeah.
show her outfit of the day, her OOTD? The geekiest thing I've seen on her yet. This is awesome. Yeah, I gotta understand, man. This is just the joy of fatherhood. Hello, baby. Hello. She says, you may need to pull that down so people can see it. There we go. Keep calm. I'm a Jedi, is what it says.
She needs to burp.
Oh, you need to burp like Daddy. Keep calm. She's a Jedi. That's what it says. I'm sorry. I know, Chris. Oh, I'm sorry. I said my name's not Chris. Your water smells like chocolate. All right. Well, we tried to show it, but she's not really stretching the way that we can't see. There we go. We're gonna make sure that she can sleep nighty night or day day. I know. Here's your mommy.
There you go. Now she's stretching.
Just keep calm. Keep calm. Give me a second. Now, John Whitaker asks, "Hey Chris, I posted this yesterday in TLDR, so I've reposted in today's AMA. If you could turn the clocks back to when you were younger, or even when your mom and dad were younger, growing up as kids back then, without all this technology there is today, back then, it was all about family, no mobile phones, computers, and such. It was all about doing things together as a family and interaction with each other and all working together with fun games, chores, and such things. Do you think kids, and I must say couples, are missing out on some of that family bond as it was back then, now that you and Diana are a mom and dad to your beautiful daughter Jedi? Or if you could bring back some of the family values lost back then, how the things are now, what would they be?" I'm not exactly sure I fully understand what you're asking, but I mean in its full scope. But I think that family units are family units. We have different tools at our disposal. We have different options at our disposal. When I was growing up, we had TVs. When my dad was growing up, they had radios. When our kid is growing up, we've got the internet and a million other things. Seemingly, that's a bit hyperbolic, but yeah, I think there's something to be said about that family bond, that family experience, and this is one of the things that I'm very, very lucky to be able to do in the career path that I chose or was chosen for me. Not just doing videos like this, not just sharing my opinions on various world situations, specifically in the arena of geekery. Maybe not like others, but hey, I'm me, and that's all I can be. So, in evolving that, I've been able to stay at home. I've been working at home, self-employed, for quite a number of years. It'd be very difficult for me to change that, but it's also now afforded me an opportunity to maybe not be a full-time dad, but a stay-at-home dad, and be a very core part of this family unit, even though it may not be considered likely something that would be average. For me, it's average. I mean, this has been my life for almost 20 years, almost half of my life to this point has been doing what it is that I've been doing in various forms. So now I'm kind of evolving into that a different role, the father, the vader, as they say in Dutch, I guess. The hope is that I'll be able to have different experiences, but still be very much a part of certain experiences for the child. And I think the family comes first, no matter what. In terms of what would play out. Just handing a child a screen or sitting him in front of the television, it doesn't always work. I mean, sometimes mommy and daddy need to get things done, and that's what a swing might be for. That might be what a puzzle's for. Or that might be what something's for. But I think that there's certainly a value in not just stepping back in time, but just keeping in mind that what we have is not going to change. 10 years from now, maybe there's a new thing that comes out. Does the family unit change? It might evolve, but without that spirit of family and belonging to that family, you really have nothing on top of it. So I think that don't expect that just because it's a new option means it's a great option. I think family units, our definition of what they are might be evolving over time, but for the most part, mother, father, child, father, father, child, mother, mother, child, parent, child, guardian, child. That's the core function, right? And as long as everything revolves around that, you're good. The moment it's the other way around, the moment you're revolving around something else, that's, I think, where issues kind of come in. I did an interview with the Seattle Times, I guess it's going to be published this weekend, talking about that, specifically in relation to kids or interests of the parents. And I've always taken the approach with technology where I believe that technology revolves around me. I don't revolve around it. And to me, that is one of the biggest differentiators between what it is that I do or what I might put out there and what someone else might. I mean, if your whole life revolves around a gadget, okay, well, that's your choice. But to me, that gadget revolves around my life. And so I look at it differently. I treat it differently. I believe it's got a different role in my life. So technology is not my life. My life is my life, and technology is just a part of it, just like general geekery. Now, speaking of technology, thank you, hon. Picked at random. Completely random out of all the tweets, and I had to like clear out the duplicates. Every day was a different day. This morning, this is when I pulled it out. Here, or was it this morning? Yeah, it was this morning. Had to make sure of the date. This is the tweet. The Intel Android tablet. We've got one more after this, so don't give up. Never give up. Never surrender. Chris Miller says, I would like to win Intel Android. Well, you're not really winning. This wasn't a contest. It was a completely random giveaway. These are really gifts, if anything. They're just gifts that Intel passed along to me. I'm like, I can't. I can use one Intel Android tablet, but I don't need 5. Why don't we give them away? I'm like, sure. So you didn't win anything, just to clarify. So I can use it every day or for everyday activities and college work. And then he tagged me at Chris Pirillo. Another perfect tweet. He even got, look at that, he even got favorited by someone else in our community. I think that's, if I say this wrong, but I get used to people's avatars, I want to say it's Jacob. Not Chris, but I want to say it's.
I love when great supporters get something.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, we've had a lot of people participating. We're really, really grateful for that. Sometimes people just jump onto the bandwagon. Oh, you're giving something away, I'll pay attention. But, it's really, really nice to know that the core part of our community is still, not just paying attention, but, they kind of get, a random gift back. So congratulations. I'll be sending this out next week at some point. I got to follow up with every one of the recipients to see if they want, any autographs or anything else. But I'm keeping them wrapped in the cellophane for people. Congratulations again, Chris. I'll be DMing you on Twitter from the @LockerGnome account. Basement, that's his handle, or hers, says, or asks, getting much sleep? No. We got out of bed at noon. We went to bed at 2. We've always had kind of disruptive sleep patterns, though, and as long as I'm able to do everything I need to do for the day, I'm generally okay. Mark Hyder. Hey, Mark. Glad to see you again. One of the biggest Doctor Who fans, or Whovians, that I know of. Mark asks, it really sets the stage with a bit of news. Airlines cleared for mobile use during flights. This is a headline. This is specifically, I believe, in the UK. So now you could use your mobile device. Now, he asks, would you use your phone during a flight? Now, we're talking about specific, I believe, network connectivity, because I caught this headline this morning as I was trying to catch up on news. Would I use my phone during a flight? I'd use it to get online. I don't know if I'd really use it for any other reason, though. I mean, I don't know if I'd talk to someone on the phone, unless I really, really needed to. At which point, I'd just, be texting or possibly emailing or tweeting or whatever it happened to be. I don't know if I'd talk on the phone as much as other people would be inclined to do that. It's not that I find it rude, because other people talk to each other on the plane, and I don't find that rude. What's the difference? I don't know. I guess if someone really wants to have a conversation with somebody, they have to expect that I'm going to overhear it. I might listen. It might be entertaining. Who knows? I'm just gonna let it play out. That's how I feel about that. Maybe I'll feel different if I have a headache and I want people to just shut up and I want to zone out. I can't hear. I've got like something on my ear, so I can't hear what's going on. We will see. So that is it for the patrons at that level for the AMA priority. Let me flip over to the open Facebook thread as soon as the page loads here. I don't know what's taking so long. There we go. Okay, I was a little worried there. God, apparently my iPad doesn't want to do a lot of things all at one time. Here we go. Now, opening the Facebook thread. Let's start at the top, because that's a good place to start. Mohammed El Sharif asks, how's the night sleeping? Well, I just answered that question. Beth asks, how's your sweet baby girl, Beth Hughes? She's good. Kathy asks, do you play World of Warcraft? Not so much. Laura, I played it once, and I'm like, I get it, but I got other things I need to do. Laura Broadnax asks, what's the meaning of life? I think that's 47. Kathy asks, when are you posting more vids of the wifey and the daughter? Dude, we do it every day. How many more do you want? And I say that with kindness, but it's just kind of funny. Manny Perez asks, Apple seems to be on a course for decline. Do you think they need a quick change to a different way of thinking before their current course destroys the brand? No, I think they're doing what they kind of need to do. I think they need to refine the process. I think they've let a lot of quality control slip away in recent years, And that was never more apparent to me than with the release of iOS 7 and subsequently iOS 8. Every company is going to run into issues. And of course, the more customers that you have to engage, the more problems you're potentially going to run into, or even the attention that gets drawn to those problems. There was a remark I saw, and I retweeted it just before the broadcast. Someone was saying that people are upset about something with the camera on the iPhone 6. And someone was saying, well, I remember the same problem with the Nexus 5, but I don't remember anybody complaining about that. The problem is, if there aren't a lot of users in comparison, who are using a product, they may still be having problems, but it's just not going to rise to the top because the tallest nail always gets pounded. And that's, at this point, one of those tallest nails is Apple. So, to me, I don't think it's on the course for a decline. I think they're making the right moves. I just don't know if they're making them the right way. I think they need to bring aboard a different person to manage quality control. In fact, and I'm not trying to hang one guy, out to dry here, but it was suggested by way of Bloomberg yesterday that the person responsible for quality control issues for iOS 8 was the same person responsible for the Maps debacle a few years back from Apple. And it's not just one person. It's not just one man or woman who might mess something up. The problem is if you've got someone who just can't steer that ship correctly or well enough, what you end up with is popping folders on iOS 7.1.2 and iOS 8. When you expand the folders and the corners pop, it's sloppy. To me, it's honestly, iOS 7 has screamed quality control issues from day one. From day one. So, if I were to look for any executive, it would be like chief executive quality control, making sure we're not going to ship crap. Because so much of what Apple does is good. I wouldn't say it's amazing. There are a lot of amazing products out there, but they're also in a league of their own. They control everything stem to stern. There's no one really who's in equal competition in every way, and I think that's its biggest. If there's a shortcoming, that's it. There's really no competition. You may have a competition between device and device and platform, but in terms of general ranges of experiences or general company, Apple unfortunately has no equal. Which isn't to say that competition doesn't exist in the marketplace, but I'm talking on a whole. Google's not the same as Apple. Google works like this, horizontally. That's how they approach the marketplace. Versus the way that Apple approaches the marketplace in a vertical capacity. Complete difference. Many people don't understand that. Many people don't know that, and those are the people you should not trust when it comes to analysis. When they don't understand how each company is different, it's so difficult to listen to them. Give me their opinion. That's fine, but when they just completely, well, let's see here. How do I put this? It's kind of like someone's making pancakes, but they forgot the flour. It's like these pancakes just taste horrible because you forgot the flour. Or the pancake mix, like these. How can you make the pancakes? You didn't even know how to make the pancakes. You don't know what goes into it. So, that to me is how I tend to look at, people sharing their opinions or perspectives online. So I don't think they're on the course for a decline. I think they're needing to double down on quality control. That is the one place that Apple needs to address in a massive way. There's always going to be mess ups, hardware and software, no doubt about it. This is, no such thing as a perfect device, which is, like I said yesterday, good news because otherwise we'd never want to upgrade to the next device. And we always want to upgrade to the next device. Let's admit it. Most of us, at least. Or another good device. So, it's not, I wouldn't say on the decline, it's just quality control. I think that's the one thing that Apple is lacking in a massive, massive way at a time when I don't think they can afford to lose that. What they're doing is good enough for now, but that's a horrible approach because that's how Microsoft did it. Good enough for now, and look what happened to Microsoft. Edward Ferguson asks, what's the best Apple product you've owned to date? Best Apple product. Well, the longest running one that I've had is the Mac Pro. It's 6 years old, almost 7 years old, and it's still running. I've upgraded it a few times, granted, but I would say that's been the best because it's run. It works. I don't have to worry about it. I don't need to. It just works. That's what I want a computer to do. I don't want it to just work. Just work. That was the best, I think, because it's still working. 6 years later, and it's running like a champ. Not perfect in every way, but it works. In terms of probably the most transformative Apple product I've ever owned would be the first iPhone. Because it just showed me that Apple had an eye for experience at that point. I think they kind of still do, but in a different way. as I'm, referring to the question I addressed before, I think the quality control has been at a different level, but I think that's where Apple's slipping at this point, unfortunately. Minor Gattaca asks, when do you plan on starting some sort of old school gaming segment? You've mentioned in a few vlogs, I think your audience would really enjoy seeing this kind of content from you. Minor, it's a great question. I don't know. If I could figure out how to better connect my arcade machine to Twitch, I'd possibly do it. I don't know. I'm not, this is not something that I just like, insanely, needing to do or insanely wanting to do. But it is something that's on my radar, classic gaming. It'd be nothing but me playing Millipede, I swear. Millipede and Tetris. Ricardo Azevedo asks, will we ever see an LG G3 review? Sure, as soon as I see an LG G3. Parker Olgenbruns asks, hey Chris, what do you know what happened to iOS 8? It shipped. That's about all I know. I'm not exactly sure how to address the question because it's kind of a nebulous question there. Tony Silura asks, when two hard drives of the same manufacturer fail at the same point in ownership after meticulous maintenance, would you buy from that manufacturer again? Yes, I possibly would, or no, if reviews over a period of time seem to reflect your experiences with that manufacturer. There are possibilities that there will be defects that'll come out of the same batch. But if that is an experience that happens over and over and over again over a period of years, over a period of users, over an array of users, not to be confused with an array of drives, then, well, I guess you could. Array of drives, that works. RAID, possible. RAID setup. So, I don't know how to answer that question because it depends. If it's consistently failing and you've been burned more than once, I'd switch. Chances of you getting hit with a hard drive problem, pretty high. Hard drives fail. It's kind of like people are always surprised when their hardware fails. Or software has bugs. I know it has bugs. All I want to do is connect with the person who can fix them. That's it. That's all I want. And if I don't bring them up, these problems, how are you to know that they need to be fixed? And I won't bring something up unless I perceive it to be a problem. Hey, Chris, notice the red bracelet thing you and Diana are wearing. Does it have a meaning? It does, but Diana would have to explain it to you. Bernard McDowell asks, is any tech devices helping you in parenthood? Not really. The baby butt wipe warmer, pretty nice. The rocking swing that we have, that's wonderful. It definitely works well, although Wicket's scared of it. Those are tech devices. That's about it. We really don't have a lot of tech devices for the baby. Yet. Because a lot of them suck. Baby tech? Horrific. Horrific! Horrific! Charles Rich, what do you think of Ballmer banning Apple from the Clippers? I think it's dumb. Andrew Kassenbaum asks, does baby Jedi sleep through the night? For the most part. She's really been a good baby. Great temperament, in terms of as far as babies go. And I have no experiences to compare. She's been a wonderful addition to our life. And I would say that even if she was screaming her head off right now. But going back to the Ballmer thing, I didn't mean to skip over that, but he's basically said, you can't use Apple products or iPads. And really? Maybe if there was an alternative, and there is an alternative, but why take away from someone's happiness? If that's what makes them happy, why you gotta rain on their parade? Why you gotta pee in their Cheerios, dude? I'd say that to anybody. Why? Unless there was an inherent reason, like, no, because iPads do this and it causes the ball to twist a certain way. Oh, then there's a reason not to use an iPad, But unless there's inherently good, solid reason, I find that bad. It's bad. That's very poor form. That's almost, I'm not gonna say it's poor sportsmanship, but it's teetering on it. Look, if you got players, what do you want the players to be? Sad or happy? Would you be happy if someone came to you and says, no, you can't use this device, you have to use this one? But I don't like this device. Don't like it? What's wrong with it? It's rich, it's beautiful, it's got huge tracts of land. The worst and the best part of doing this is that I can do things like that. That's the best part. The worst part is I know 99% of the people who just heard what I said have no idea what the reference is. And if you don't know what the reference is, I have to, like, strip nerd points away from you. Like, you just got plucked. 3 nerd points if you did not catch the reference. Next. We're almost out of time, too. Yeah, I have one. How come you never answer my questions? Asks John Road Dog. What? That was a good question, I think, to end it on. I'm going to go ahead and wind down now. I have to apologize to my Supernomies. I intended on recording the separate video, the Q&A with you and me, yesterday about the differences between the app stores. And it totally slipped my mind. After I closed one broadcast, I got caught up with Jedi. So today, I'm going to be doing 2 bonus videos. We're almost at 100 bonus videos for all the Supernomies, which is awesome news. So please, become one of the Supernomies. Get bonus content from me. I'll be answering even more questions. Today, I'm answering the question, the App Stores thing, and then... Exactly, how do Linux distros differ? This is going to be a general term. Of course, most geeks already know the answer to that question. But I like giving advice to people who don't know what I know. I love connecting with people who know what I know, and I love talking about what I love talking about, and catching the references that I make. But at the same time, the people who find more value in what I know are the people who have no idea what it is that I'm talking about. And so I try to bring context to their lives. I'm just trying to make the world a better place. And couldn't we all want for that in our lives? Hopefully you're making the world a better place. And if not, maybe just consider doing something. This is all you got to do today. Smile. And if nobody's told you that they appreciate you, let me be the first. I appreciate you. I really do. And I hope you had a great week. I hope you have a great weekend. Can't wait to see you again on Monday virtually. Of course, I'll be participating in social all along. And thanks for liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing, watching even more of our videos, doing all the blah, 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 blah. You guys know. You guys here. I'm just going to sit back. You guys can finish up the video. You know what's coming next. Okay, one more question. Richard Wooding asks, Chris, are you going to reform and bring change to baby tech? I would love to, but I can't. It's not what I wouldn't know where to begin. I can point at things and say that sucks or that's good, but that's it. I don't have the revenue for it. I don't have the ability to build a company like that. I'm not an engineer. I'd have to lead that, and I don't know if I would be able to. I'd love to though. It'd be nice because a lot of the baby tech sucks. Okay, now, for real, I'm done. At this point, I'm going to leave you to your own devices.